Well, as the protests continue, there are some in the Wet'suwet'en community who are in favor of the Coastal Link pipeline, and they want the blockades to come down. Now, they are also not happy that parties outside the community have joined the protest. They say they're making it more difficult to resolve the dispute. So to all of that, let's reach out right now to Marion Shepherd and her husband, as she and her husband, Mike, operate a trucking company in the area. She joins us now in Houston, BC. So Marion, thank you for joining us today.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, obviously another weekend of protests in solidarity of some Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs. Now, you actually support the pipeline, so maybe dig in a bit deeper to what I just said. What is your reaction to these ongoing demonstrations outside the community?
Well, I don't think it's really anybody else's business. I think the protesters should back down. It's the Wet'suwet'en people's fight, I guess. That's how we'd say it. But, yeah, I really don't agree with it. I think our people have to go to work. That's about it.
Well, except, to speak to those who are taking part in the solidarity protests outside of BC even, they say they want to make a stand for the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs. They want to make a stand for their right to have consultation with the government. So what's the problem with that?
I don't know. They're going to do whatever they want to do. They've got a lot of people involved all across Canada. I think that the protesting is getting a little out of hand, and they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to protest.
Does it make it more difficult for people like you who are part of the nation but also support the pipeline?
Yeah, it makes it a little harder. I mean, there's a lot of division happening up here, and just watching it on TV every day, every second of the, it's getting kind of old. But it makes it a little harder for us, of course. But there's a lot more support than they realize, I think.
Well, let's pick up on that point because, to hear some observers, they say that you are in the minority of opinion, that most in the Wet'suwet'en nation are actually against the pipeline. What do you say to that?
Well, they say that there's about 85% of our nation that are for the pipeline, and there are a lot of them that are working out there already. So, I think we need the jobs, and it just and for everybody, not only the Indigenous people, non-Indigenous, and everybody.
Mm-hmm. Maybe tell us a bit more about why, you mentioned jobs, but why is it that you actually support the construction of this natural gas pipeline?
Well, I've been involved since 2015, 2016, and I worked with LNG, and I went out on a tour and saw what was actually happening. I went to Fort St. John, I went to Calgary, Crow's Nest, and I got educated in what the pipeline is doing, and I totally am for it. I'm from an industrial town, and we're all for work. So, yeah. And
is this what it boils down to you? Work and a chance for people to actually make a living?
Yes, we need to work, and I just believe in that. We can go on and work together, and it'll be better for our communities and for our people. There's a lot of people that are working out there that are First Nations, and they look happy, and they have to make a living. So
what needs to be done to get past this moment, do you think?
Well, I think we have to go into open dialogue with our own chiefs, and I think they have to look after their own communities first before they can go out into the country and support other people, right? Like, I think it's very important for our chiefs to talk to their clans and get dialogue from them. They need to be heard, and this is why I'm doing this, is because I want to be heard. This is the first time I'm speaking. I've been biting my tongue for a while and watching what's going on, and so I just think that it'll be very viable for our people to get going and get some work out there and live life like they can.
Marion, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your time with us today.
Okay. Okay. Can I say one more thing?
Of course, of course.
I believe that the RCMP are there for a reason. It's so hard to hear people yelling at them and screaming at them. They're doing their job, and they're here for, they are looking after people and keeping everybody safe. And everywhere you look, they're calling them down. Like they're good people. They're like me. They have children. They have a family. So yeah, I wish they would just stop.
Marion, I'm glad you shared that. Thank you for this.
Okay, thank you very much.
And that's Marion Shepherd, a member of the Wet'suwet'en First Nation in Houston, BC.